it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking deserted island skincare. Now, this is a trend that's been going around with people sharing their products that they would bring with them to a deserted island, right? You know, those must-have foundational skincare products. Now, I've done a couple of versions of my top, holy grail types of products. I recently did one a couple of months ago where I talked about, all the skincare that I would still buy even if I wasn't a skinfluencer. So you can definitely check that out for more picks. But today, I really wanted to focus in on foundational must-have, cannot live without skincare products, and I've limited myself to 5. So if you're so ready to find out what those 5 skincare products are, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump in. Now, I have an overactive mind, so I'm thinking, why am I not on a deserted island? What's the climate going to be like? What's sun situation going to be like? Woo, right? There's a lot going on up there at all times. So let's just clear the clutter. I really just want to focus in on building that core skincare routine when it comes to going to this deserted island where I don't have resources, right? So first and foremost, my number 1 pick, Make Cream Essence Toner. The reason that I picked this is for, a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's super duper hydrating. And that is one of the main concerns that I have when it comes to skincare. I am prone to dehydration. And when I really replenish my skin with watery hydration, that really seems to dive deep into my skin, really get to the source of the dehydration. That really helps to bring my skin back into balance. And it's really important that you build balance into your skincare routine no matter your skin type. You got to figure out what's that right balance for your individual skin. And my individual skin favors highly for watery hydration, and this toner does it. It's really watery, it's quickly absorbed into the skin, and it's layerable. Well, toners generally can be layered on the skin. There's always that really interesting mix between that formulation and texture and your skin's own chemistry and how your skin accepts a product. Some toners for me, while they feel good on the first layer, they can start to feel thick on the second layer or sticky, or just there's this weird film, or they're not really absorbing into my skin on multiple layers. This product cuts all of that out of the way. It just absorbs and absorbs and absorbs, and my skin can just drink it up, but it's very replenishing. I also really appreciate the larger size of this because, like I said, I do a couple of layers, so that means I run through products a lot faster, but with this bigger size, I don't feel I'm running through toner every single month. This lasts me a really, really good long time. So, it just makes sense that I would bring this with me to a deserted island. Now, my second pick is dependent on the season. This is where I said my overactive mind makes this fun little exercise very complicated. What's the climate going to be like on this deserted island? Is it going to be tropical the whole year round, or are we, talking about multiple seasons? So if this is going to be a cooler type of climate, I'm going to go for the Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. A couple of reasons here. Number 1, it's beautiful and fun. I love that it is a bi-phase essence. So we've got that watery tea portion bringing in all the antioxidants and the well-aging benefits. And then we've got this creamy, silky layer on top here, which is bringing in some really beautiful emolliency, nourishing moisture and comfort into the skin. You get to mix them together before you apply. So if I'm really bored on the deserted island, at least I can have a little bit of skin entertainment, right? So this product is the best of both worlds. And as I really, focused in on with the toner, balance is really the key to any skincare routine at any age with any skin type. And so I've really built in a ton of hydration with the toner. And now this is going to bring in a real nice amount of extra hydration with some nice creamy emolliency, some nourishment for my combination skin, bringing in that really wonderful balance. I also like that this is focused in on well-aging. Tea is amazing for healthy skin. It's an antioxidant, it's antibacterial, it's anti-inflammatory. So it just kind of hits all those marks for keeping your skin in a really nice healthy state. And so that would really be my choice. Now, if we're talking a little bit hotter, a little bit maybe more humid, maybe that creamy layer in the Dr. Ceuracle is going to be too much for my skin. So my alternative option then is the Cosrx Advanced Snail 96 Mucin Power Essence. I've been re-falling in love with this, you know what I mean? We're falling in love all over again with this product. This summer, this has been my sidekick because it brings Similar qualities as Dr. Ceuracle, but it's doing it different. It brings a nice extra amount of hydration in addition to the toner, right? But then there's this nice balancing moisture to it. But what the difference is here, it's more of a gel type of moisture, not an emollient, creamy, oil-based moisture. It's different. And so in a hotter, humid climate, I don't want to overwhelm my skin with too much nourishment, especially early on in the skincare routine. So the Cosrx is just that right amount of balance to plump up the skin, hydrate it, but also help to kind of gently hug all that hydration in the skin, with a little bit of moisture without like overwhelming or feeling greasy. Now, Snail as an ingredient is something that, you know, really is about healthy skin. And I think that if we can only limit ourselves to a certain amount of products, focusing in on healthy skin is probably going to be your best bet, because when your skin is healthy, it's functioning optimally, it's going to be balanced, and a lot of the other problems that you might be facing, they're lessened to a certain degree, right? So I think just having a good foundation for health is important. But Snail is also a fantastic wound healing ingredient, also anti-inflammatory, as well aging properties, and can help stimulate some collagen on the skin. But it is also an ingredient that can help with photo damaged skin. And that, I think, as I start to get older, is something that I'm more concerned about. And if we're on a deserted island with a lot of sun exposure, I definitely want to build those types of gentle, everyday types of ingredients into my routine to help keep my skin healthy and looking good at the same time while protecting myself from the sun. My number 3 pick is Stratia Liquid Gold. Now, this is a product that I always say is flexible. You can use this as a serum or you can use this as a moisturizer. For me, the texture is not quite occlusive enough for my particular skin type, because I am prone to that transepidermal water loss. I do need something that seals it in just a little bit more. And so I tend to use this as like a serum or sometimes as an emulsion type of step in my skincare routine. And in the routine that I'm building here in my mind, this would function kind of like a treatment serum. So the reason I love this, and I have been using this, I legitimately have not stopped using this since 2018. No joke, I have not stopped using this. It's so good. You know, I originally started using it when my barrier was damaged, and it really helped my skin heal up. It really is that product that made the difference for me. But I keep it in my routine to keep my barrier strong. Absolutely. Ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids, my skin thrives on them. Once I really figured that out about my skin, about really focusing in on my skin barrier, everything just really became so much easier for me in skincare. So I really like to have that foundation of ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids in any product in my routine. This is a great one. But it also has some other great ingredients in here that are fantastic for well aging. A really heavy focus on antioxidants. See buckthorn in here really brings the beautiful golden color, but also it brings that antioxidant protection, and also has some capabilities for helping with the complexion to brighten it up just a little bit. This also contains 4% of niacinamide, so talking about brightening benefits, but it's also the percentage that's great for stimulating collagen production on the skin. It's also the percentage that's great for supporting your skin's moisture barrier. So it is a multi-beneficial type of product. And if we have to really streamline the routine, right, you really want to find products that bring multiple benefits in one bottle. This absolutely does it. And I think it stands in, like I said, for serum. I think it's standing in for like an oil type of product to bring a little bit more nourishment into my skin, which, talking about the balance, I tend to really benefit from a little extra nourishment. That's just me personally. So it's just kind of that perfect balance between lots of benefits, the right type of texture, the right type of layer in this skincare routine. My number 4 pick is moisturizer, and that is Cerave Moisturizing Cream. Now, I know, hear me out on this one. It's boring. I know. It's overhyped, right? It's like everywhere. It's like, we're sick of hearing about it. I know. But honestly, it just kind of works. And that's what I like. You know, it's really about what's inside of the jar that counts, or the tube, right? And I just think this cream just suits my skin so well. Ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids, right? We have already established it's really important for my skin to keep that healthy skin barrier. I need those ingredients in my routine. Let's throw some more in while we're at it, right? I also like that this has glycerin and hyaluronic acid in it. I love when moisturizer brings like that element of hydration and moisture. Like, I love that balance. I seek for it in a lot of my skincare products. I really feel like this delivers a nice amount of both, but then it also has a nice occlusivity to it, which is really important. The reason why I can't use Stratia Liquid Gold as a moisturizer is the lack of occlusivity in that formula. This really just helps hug everything into my skin, and it really fights transepidermal water loss for me. Something I also really like about this cream is it has a neutral finish to it. So every time I put it on, it's like it just has this like smoothing kind of effect, this neutralizing effect to my skin. No matter how much oil or other products I have on, it just kind of like leaves this nice neutral finish. It's not super shiny, and it doesn't feel like it sits on top of my skin. I definitely don't want to be like, if we're talking about like it's hot and humid, I don't want to be in an environment where my super rich and thick moisturizer is just like sliding on top of my skin. I don't like it. So I like that kind of neutralizing effect. It just dives in deep, it stays deep, it moisturizes inside of the skin. What do I say? Like, not on top, right? So I love that. And I've used this cream for so many years in summertime, in wintertime, in fall time, in springtime. And as I said, like, my overactive mind's like, what's the climate of this deserted island? Like, I need the facts here. We need to like sketch out this island a little bit more. I need details. But even without the details of where I'm going, I know this cream will probably perform for me. And so that's why I picked it, because it just, like I said, it just kind of always works for me. And my fifth pick is tretinoin. I cannot live without this product. Now, would it be my choice for a deserted island? I'm not really sure, but if we're just talking about like the products that make the biggest difference on your skin that you cannot let go of, non-negotiable in your routine, tretinoin has really become a non-negotiable for me personally. Now, I do use agency to get my tretinoin. I'm at 0.05% of tretinoin right now. And then my tretinoin also comes with azelaic acid, tranexamic acid, and some extra niacin in there too. And that is just like the best. It's everything that my skin needs when it comes to actives. You know, the tretinoin, well-aging goals, stimulating collagen, fighting the fine lines and wrinkles, also helping to brighten up the skin. But then we have tranexamic acid, which really goes in there and helps with the brightening, with the pigmentation on the skin. It helps with sun damage as well. So I love that. But then the azelaic acid, this is the ingredient that keeps my skin clear. I am prone to congestion on my skin, clogged pores that can often turn into active acne. Azelaic acid is the ingredient that suits my skin the best. It really clears out the pores. It helps to prevent the pores from clogging back up again, but it's a lot more gentle than other ingredients that can do the same thing. It's a lot more gentle. It also comes with some other brightening benefits, which I absolutely need because if any little bit of inflammation happens on my skin, hyperpigmentation, a dark mark occurs. That's just my skin. That's how it is. And so it's like once you get over the pimple, then you have this dark mark that needs to be faded. Azelaic acid is like that 2-for-1 type of ingredient that's giving you the, pore unclogging capabilities and the hyperpigmentation fighting abilities. I really need that in my routine. And then that healthy dose of niacinamide too. Niacinamide helps, I believe, to stable the tretinoin. It helps it to work better on the skin, but it also, again, barrier supportive. It is collagen stimulating. It is a brightening type of ingredient. I really love that. So like I would bring my agency prescription with me and tons of backups, right? Because it really is all the actives, all the treatment that I need in one little bottle, covers a lot of bases in just one step. And that's it. Those are the 5 products that I would bring with me to create a really core but effective skincare routine on a deserted island. Oh, what about cleansers? What about sunscreens? Do they even count? I know, I broke the rules a little bit, right? I did not want to waste any steps on sunscreen and on cleanser, but I'm still bringing them to the deserted island. I'm going to sneak them in, okay? The cleanser that I would bring, the all-purpose, cleanser that's going to do it for me in any environment, in any season, no matter what my skin is feeling like in any given moment, La Roche-Posay Lipikar AP Plus Wash. I like this for a lot of reasons. I think it is just a really good marriage between like a moisturizing milk type of cleanser and a foaming cleanser. My skin can be prone to dryness, especially if I'm going through a bout of sensitivity or irritation. Definitely my skin can feel a lot more dehydrated and dry. And so I like that moisture element to this. but I also struggle with just straight up pure milk cleansers because I feel like they're a little filmy on my skin sometimes. And so I love that this foams, which means it's going to be better at cleaning my skin of any impurities that I'm picking up on this deserted island, right? If I'm sweating a lot on this deserted island, like sweat is a huge enemy to my pores. That's definitely when we're talking about congestion and acne, that is like a recipe for disaster with my skin. I really do need a foaming cleanser to break all that sweat off and all that like thick layer of oil that I can produce in my T-zone. I need that to really effectively clean through those areas, but I got to be gentle on the drier areas of my skin too. So this does it all. And it's a nice big size as well. So I think it's a nice all-purpose type of cleanser. As I said, in any situation, it's going to suit my skin. Now, sunscreen. This is where the overactive mind is like, okay, but like, what about the climate? Am I going to be swimming? How humid is it going to be? What's the UV index? All right. The point, right, of picking your 5 products that you would bring to a deserted island is not to say this is what I would use on an actual island. The point is to highlight the products that you can't live without, right? So I'm going to put climate and swimming and water resistance and all that to the side. If you really wanted to know the sunscreen I would use, like in a beachy environment, check out my sweaty sunscreen video that I just did. That's exactly what I would do in that situation. But if we're just talking about the sunscreen that I reach for the most, it's the Skin 1004 Hyalu-Cica sunscreen. This is so good. It is neither too moisturizing and heavy, nor is it like light and drying on my skin. Because I do find that like some sunscreens are so creamy, they have such a richness to it that they make my skin feel really heavy or greasy, or they feel like they sit on top, and that just is not comfortable for every single day use, right? It makes you feel like you want to take a shower or wash your face all the time. I don't like that feeling. Now, some sunscreens do use denatured alcohol to create a really light, sometimes like a gel type of texture, which I think is awesome, but like my skin doesn't always play super well with denatured alcohol, so I tend to avoid it because of like the dehydration issues, and that's just a personal thing for me. So I love that this sunscreen achieves a really nice skincare feeling type of sunscreen without being overly emollient or without relying on denatured alcohol to get a light, quick drying kind of feel on the skin. I love how light, how breathable, how airy it feels. I love that it's like I'm not always being reminded of the sunscreen that's sitting on top of my skin in the middle of the day. It just sinks in like a dream. It absorbs. I feel very protected with this sunscreen. I've been using it for I've gone through a couple of bottles now. It's been at least a year since I've been using it, and I've always felt very protected. My skin is getting super sensitive to the sun with my tretinoin use, and so I've never felt like my skin was burning or getting irritated from the sun when using this. It feels amazing when you have to reapply it. It doesn't build up super thick on the skin. Like, it just works, and I think that has been really the theme of my picks. It just works in any situation, no matter what my skin is doing, because my skin's always changing. It's always kind of like responding to the environment and doing different things, fluctuating oily, fluctuating dry, more dehydrated, less dehydrated, right? And so this sunscreen always seems to work on my skin in any season. And if we're talking about skincare that you can't live without, you really got to go to those products that work for you in every situation, and this one does. So I hope you enjoyed that fun roundup of must-have skincare, and I'm curious to know, what would your must-haves be for a deserted island? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know, do you find things like this slightly stressful because your mind's a little overactive? It definitely is for me. Let me know in the comments. Now, if you did enjoy the video and you want to see some more from me, but you haven't hit subscribe, wait, don't go yet. Please hit subscribe. I release a lot of new skincare videos throughout the week. I also do shorts. I'm super active week to week on YouTube, so consider turning on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today, and I really do hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next video. I'll see you soon.